15. Why is it 15 people on the floor? What's up, y'all? Back again today. I know I was out for like a month, so I decided to come on 2 days in a row. Thank you guys for joining. We're making some stuffed salmon today with just some rice and broccoli. Yesterday we made some lasagna. And if you ever miss any, including this one, or you're not able to stay the whole time, it will be up on my YouTube within a couple of days from now. This particular stuffed salmon that I'm making, I actually do have a short on my YouTube on how to make it. So this will be the more detailed version. So right now I'm just going to cut up my vegetables first. That's it. They got a field goal. Wow. I saw that coming. I didn't want it to be the Chiefs. Are y'all watching this playoff game? Who did y'all want to win? I really wanted it to be the Bengals. Well, I wanted them to win the Super Bowl, but Kansas City came back in that last second. Thank you all for joining. Make sure you're tapping that screen, send some likes, give me a follow, cook some good stuff on live. Easy stuff for you to make at home, even if you're not a fancy chef. I'm not a fancy chef either. What was that sound that my earphones just made? But anyways, we make easy recipes here. Easy to follow, easy to cook. You don't judge on the cuts, because it all goes down the same way. We're just chopping up some garlic right now. We're making the filling. Just add a couple of vegetables to the filling, which would be a little garlic, mushrooms, spinach, and then the filling itself will be cream cheese, cheddar cheese, and lemon juice, and we'll mix it all together and stuff it in the salmon. And then we're going to air fry it. You could also bake it, but I like to air fry it because it gets nice and crispy. Thank you for the likes. Relax and take with me. Thank you for the follow. That's mine. Oh, why don't we put it?
Those are mine, please.
Mine's right there. Hold on. Oh, is that why they're dead? I thought, who was it connected to? Oh, that makes sense as to why I heard a random sound. It must have been something from the phone or computer. I'm special. I had the wrong AirPods in, so y'all probably couldn't even hear me. We are making stuffed salmon. My bad, y'all. I had my audio all messed up. We're making stuffed salmon. Right now we're cutting up some vegetables for the filling. We're going to use some mushrooms, garlic, spinach, cream cheese, cheddar cheese, lemon juice, pesto sauce. We're going to make it into a paste and stuff it in the salmon. Dang, I wanted the Bengals to win. It's over. Okay, I probably won't eat all 4 of these. That was a bit dramatic there. All 4 of these mushrooms. Thank you for the follow. Sorry, I can't see your name. Thank you for the follow. Myrene. I might need to move my ring light a little closer. I cannot read those tiny little comments. Thank you guys for following. Make sure you're tapping that screen. Stay tuned. This meal won't take very long. Yesterday we made lasagna. Took us a little while. Still not too long though, but if you missed that video and you want to see how to make your own delicious lasagna at home, it will be up on my YouTube in a couple of days. I do post all of my lives there, so if you're ever, you want to see one again or you missed it completely, you can go to my YouTube. YouTube name is the same as my TikTok name, Chefstiny. It's also on my shirt. And you can see this one will be up in a couple days. The lasagna one will also be up in a couple of days. Leave a comment. Let us know where you're joining from. I'm in Las Vegas on the West Coast, so it's not super late. I know that if you're on the East Coast, it's kind of late. It's like, what, 10 o'clock over there? If you already had dinner, drop a comment. Let us know what you had for dinner. Again, we're just going to make some stuffed pesto salmon here with a side of rice and broccoli. Super easy, but also really delicious. And we're going to air fry it. You do have the option to bake it. That'll work too. I don't typically like to pan cook anything that's stuffed because it just makes a mess. Thank you, Audrey, for the follow. Let's see if that'll be enough. I'm only making 2 salmon fillets, so I'm not trying to make too much filling. Let's see. That was 2 garlic cloves and 2 mushrooms. That probably is good. Usually I would make extra, but when you stuff food, it's not really the easiest thing to warm up. So we're just going to eat this today and probably eat a little sandwich for lunch tomorrow. All right, I guess we have our 2 teams going to the Super Bowl. We got Chiefs versus Eagles. Who do y'all want to win? I guess of those 2 options, I'm only going to say the Chiefs because the Eagles just won, like, how many years ago? 5 or 6. Let me drop my rice in here. Drop my rice in. We're just going to have, like I said, a side of rice and broccoli. Nothing too fancy. Not down. Actually, let me tip that a little bit. Audrey, thank you so much. That was a good game, though. Did y'all watch that Bengals Chiefs game just now? It was a good game. The Chiefs just pretty much got the luck of the draw because they were scoring point for point with each other. All right, I do want to make most of the filling last because I don't want it to get all melty. It involves cream cheese, and I want it to be as solid as possible so it doesn't spill out. Usually, I would use my my individual air fryer, but I don't have that anymore because my oven has an air fryer feature. So we're going to be learning together. I'm going to find a way to stand it up in there and then air fry it in the oven. It's easier with the smaller air fryer because you can just stand it up. It's contained, it's easy, but with an entire oven, we're going to see how it works. Either way, it's going to taste good. Okay. Let me open up this salmon. What did y'all have for dinner today? Ooh, gotta be careful with salmon. Salmon's a really delicate meat. I can't believe I had on the wrong AirPods and I thought I was sitting here talking to y'all. Okay, we got a nice big lizard. Thank you for the likes. We got a nice big fillet of salmon here. One thing about me, I do not do the frozen salmon. The fresh salmon is expensive, but it's worth it. So this is about 3 pounds. I'm not making the entire thing. Just a couple of slices for tonight. Isn't it just beautiful though? But yeah, frozen salmon doesn't even taste the same, so would not recommend. If you're able to get fresh for any salmon meal you're making, I would recommend you do that. Okay, so we're just going to cut a piece off. I think I'm good on cutting vegetables here, so I can place this meat on here. We don't want any contamination going on. Okay, and then one thing about stuffing, oh, this might not be big enough. There we go. One thing about stuffing salmon is that you need a particular piece of the fish so that you can make a nice little pocket in there. So the end pieces probably aren't thick enough, both ends. So I'll probably cut this piece off and try and get something from the middle because that's where the meat is like the most thick. So let's see. Usually I would use scissors, but I'm going to try this knife. The food scissors work really well with salmon. Not to butcher the meat. Okay, so let's try and cut this piece off. And I do buy my salmon with the skin still attached. You can get it otherwise, but I feel like when I cook it with skin, it really locks in the salmon's moisture a lot better. Oh, that worked pretty well. Yeah, you really want to be delicate with fish in general, but especially when you're trying to stuff some salmon, you don't want to rip the meat. This part of the skin is not trying to let go. There we go. So I'm going to cut this piece off so we can get to a thicker middle piece. Gloria, thank you for the follow. I get on here on live and cook when I have some extra time. I wish I had an official schedule, but I just don't because of work and school. But I've been off live for probably about a month, so I decided to do one yesterday and do one today just because I was so busy for the past month. So yesterday we made lasagna. Today we're making stuffed salmon. And to give you guys an understanding of how much this size of a piece, again, it's about 3 pounds, can run you. This one was on sale and it was $22. So that's a decent price. But usually the fresh fillets at your butcher's window at your grocery store costs, on a good day, $6.99. On a bad day, up to like $12.99 per pound. But to me, it just tastes so much better than frozen salmon. I really will just not eat salmon before I choose the frozen salmon. So this is about the size of the fillet we'll be using. It's a pretty decent sized fillet. Pretty average size, probably a serving. I don't know, I don't weigh my food, but you can see it's about, let's say, the size of my hand. Okay, so we're only going to make a little pocket, a little stuffing. That's why I wasn't too worried about creating too much of filling here. Okay, so there's that one more time. Here, let me try and come a little closer. But it looks really good. Clean cut. We don't have any broken meat. Again, I buy the kind with the skin on, which is usually cheaper, actually. But I prefer it because it keeps the fish moisturized when you cook it. All right, so we'll use this one, and I'll cut one more piece. And sorry, y'all. Usually I have music or something playing. Today we just have the post-football game in the background because the music keeps getting flagged whenever I upload these to my YouTube. And then I end up having to chop up my video, and I just don't like having to do that. So I decided to do away with the music. See, you don't want to rip the fish. You want to cut the fish. Okay. So here's another one. Again, this one's about the size of my hand. We're going to cut a small pocket here, and that's where we're going to put the filling. Okay. All right, so the rest of this I can put away. I'm only making 2 pieces. I don't like to warm up anything that I cook that's stuffed. It's just messy. So only what we're eating tonight. Okay. Let me grab a Ziploc bag. Stir my rice. Okay. And we're just going to have rice and broccoli on the side today. But it's also good with mashed potatoes or roasted potatoes. A lot of sides go well with this, but today we're going to have rice and broccoli. All right, let's get a Ziploc bag. Thank you all for being here and watching me make some stuffed salmon today. Again, if you're not able to see the whole show or you missed a part and you want to see everything, it will be up on my YouTube shortly. YouTube name is the same as my TikTok name. It is Chefstiny. You can go there, type in my name in the search bar, and you will find my videos. I also have a short on there right now that's actually this similar recipe, and that one's only about a minute long if you need it quick, fast, and in a hurry. But if not, this will be the longer, more detailed version that I will upload. Or you can just stick around with me today. That works too. I appreciate you guys watching. Put away the rest of this salmon. Peggy, thank you for the follow. Again, I go live when I can. I don't have any particular schedule, but if you follow me, that's the easiest way to keep up with what I've got going on with live, right? Okay. Okay, what's my rice doing? I'm always skeptical of rice. I would say 95% of the time I make it and it's okay. But rice can be very hit or miss for me. Most of the time it's okay. Next, I'm going to, I'm going to cut the little slit into the salmon so you can see where we're going to be stuffing it. You gotta be really gentle. You don't want to poke through the other side because then it's just going to be messy. You want to make sure you cut through enough to make a pocket to hold it, and that's all. Okay, so let's see. Actually, I'm not done with this yet. I'll use it to season our fish. What happened to the TV? I'm going to use a smaller knife for cutting the pocket just because I don't want it to ruin it. You got one chance with this. One chance. So you want to be very delicate. Alright, let's see. I like to choose whatever side looks more wide. I think it's this one. Okay, so I start, let's say nearly at the top. Not all the way at the top, because again, you don't want to cut through it. And just gentle, kind of like you're cutting a bagel in half. But don't cut through to the other side. That's probably the most important part of this. You may even want to cut flat. This fish is a little more delicate than the others, but that's all right. We're going to cut our little pocket. And it's always better to cut less up front. Thank you, Lizard, for the likes. It's always better to cut less up front. You can make the hole bigger, but you can't make it smaller, right? So I just cut a little piece, and I'm like, that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll open it up just a little more. This is where we're at, right? Yes, this is very serious cutting. Gotta focus. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it a little bit more. Here. Okay, I'm scared. All right, so that should be good. So this is the overall size of the pocket here, right? You see how I like to leave the top part a little thicker than the bottom part, just because the bottom part has the support of the skin. The top is just meat. So this is the size. Thank you, Taylor, for the likes. This is the size of the cut, and this is the size of the fillet. Let's do the other one, and let's do just as good of a job. Okay. That. I'm all holding my breath. This is very serious, apparently. Okay. So I just cut a little bit. Again, you can make the hole bigger. You cannot make it smaller. Okay, so we see how that part's a little thick. So I'm gonna go in a little bit more on that side. I don't want to rip it, because not to sound dramatic or anything, but that'll ruin the whole thing. Okay. Okay. There we go. So that's the size of the slit on this one. And this one in general was a smaller piece, so it makes sense that it cut different, but we're good. We didn't cut through to the other side. It's going to be supportive of our stuffing. Okay. And if you've been following me a while, you've probably seen me make this before, but the quick version, the 1-minute version, the edited version, this is the real deal. One thing about live, y'all gonna see all the flaws in the situation. Like when you make a YouTube video, you can cut and edit and do all of this all day. Thank you, Anne, for the follow. And then your video looks perfect and easy, when in reality, behind the scenes, stuff is all over the place. Like yesterday when I was making lasagna, I was supposed to be taking it out of the pan nice and pretty, doing a little cheese pull action. I took it out, it slipped off of the spatula back into the pan, made a mess. We didn't do the cheese pull, but it was still delicious, because that's what you have to remember. You don't have to cut pretty, it doesn't have to look pretty, as long as it tastes good. Thank you, boss, for the follow. All right, so we have our little, I forgot I started the washer. It's gonna sing a whole song. Let me stop it. Okay. I don't know who's in charge of making the dryer and washer ringtones, but it's too long. That song goes on for like a minute and a half. Turn down the rice and let it steam. I don't know why the TV stopped after the game. There we go. Okay, let me turn it down because we don't want any copyright issues with YouTube because YouTube be on your back. Okay. I keep taking this away like I'm not done using it. This one here. Thank you, Gloria. Okay, so next here, even though I've been touching this meat with my hands, I really don't like the feeling of it. So I'm about to put on some little plastic gloves and we're going to season it. Thank you, Mo Better, for the follow. So I have this entire thing of olive oil because I just bought it today. And I have one of those cute little drizzle things, but I dropped it and it shattered. So we're going to use this entire thing today, but I will pour it in something prettier eventually. But basically, I'm going to put some of this extra virgin olive oil, by the way. You don't have to use that. I like to use olive oil because it tastes better with salmon. But we're going to use this, rub it over, put the seasoning not only on the top, but inside, and we'll stuff it and we'll air fry it. So let me let's see. Get our stuffing materials. We already cut up some mushrooms and garlic earlier. Sometimes I'll just put whatever random vegetables are hanging out in the fridge. But today we got a little plan. Today. Okay, so we need cream cheese, Philadelphia only. That's some things you can't buy off-brand. Cream cheese is one of them. Okay, we got some pesto. Doesn't really matter which brand. Some taste different than others. I like this one, and there's a Classico one that's good. And then we'll cut a piece of lemon real quick. Oh, excuse me. I didn't even open the seasoning yet. All right, let me just cut a little piece of lemon. Actually, I'm gonna cut, let's see, how wide is that? I'm gonna cut 2 slices. I like to put a slice on it at the end, but we're also gonna need some lemon juice for the stuffing. So we'll cut 2 pretty slices. These 2 are fine. Pretty thin slices to place on the top at the end. And then let me cut another piece off. Probably use a little less than that. I'm only making 2 salmon fillets, so I don't need a whole lot of ingredients. We'll just use that to squeeze in the sauce. Pick out the seeds. Thank you guys for joining. If you're just getting here, we are making stuffed salmon with some jasmine rice and broccoli. Very basic dinner. Yesterday we made some lasagna. That's kind of a heavy meal, so we're toning it down today, right? All right. So again, this is some chopped up mushrooms and garlic. I'm gonna just squeeze this a little less than half of a lemon in here. I don't know why I didn't use my lemon squeezer, but I'm already in too deep. I'm gonna make sure not to get any seeds in there because that's never pleasant. I should have rolled the lemon first. It's all good. Okay, so we'll do that. That should be plenty, especially since I'm putting one on top at the end. Thank you, Mom, for the likes. Okay. And yes, I've been touching the fish this entire time, but for the seasoning part, I don't want to touch it. Now my hands are all Mix up some of the lime. 1 second. Let me dry my hands with the towel. Okay. Yes, the smoked salmon. The stuffed salmon. Smoked salmon is also good. It is a good one. All right. So again, this is EVOO. You can use regular olive oil. You can use another type of oil. This is just the one I like to use. Okay. And again, I will pour this in something prettier at some point, but I just got it today. That's kind of a lot. That is not a problem though. We're gonna rub it all over. Thank you for getting it up to 1,000 likes. All right, rice is all good. I think I want to rub it after I put some of the seasoning. So this one is a rosemary garlic seasoning. Goes really well on salmon. Comes from Sam's Club, if you have that near you. So we'll put some of that. So we're going to put all the salmon or the seasoning on first, and then we'll rub it around. Paprika. Smoked paprika is ideal, but I just have regular paprika today. And it works fine. That's part of the reason for the gloves too, because paprika stains your hands a little bit. It's like when you eat hot Cheetos, because they use a lot of paprika in that. Okay. Onion powder. If you were with me yesterday making lasagna, we were running low, so we got some more today. Thank you, IMJ, for the likes. I have to lean in to read the comments because it's so small. Okay, so again, that's onion powder. And black pepper. And we are going to air fry this, but you are also welcome to bake it. It'll come out well that way as well. Oh, garlic powder. Goes on everything. And there's also fresh garlic in the stuffing. And then something for a little salt content. We got Tony's. Can also go on everything. Okay, oh, there we go. Oh, okay. So now we're going to rub this all around, including inside. So we're going to mix up all that oil and seasoning we have. Make sure it touches all the parts, including inside, but be careful not to rip your fish. All right, I'm going to dip the sides. Dip the sides. Get some in here. Be very gentle with your fish. It's easy to rip it. Okay. Oh, excuse me, gotta sneeze. That's that seasoning. That means we put enough. If you ain't sneezing, you did not season. All right. So this one's pretty well rubbed here. You want to make sure it's nice and evenly coated on the sides of the fish, on the skin of the fish, and on the top of the fish. and then even a little bit inside. Okay. All right, so we'll do the same thing with this one. I want to make sure we touch all parts of the fish. You want to touch that part. See, I missed a little spot. You want to touch all parts of the fish. There we go. Okay. So we're just rubbing it on. Use some of that olive oil, put it in the middle. Put some of your seasoning in the middle, but be careful not to rip your fish. I have ripped it before while trying to cook this, and I'll say, if that happens to you, you could just cook it like this and still make your filling, but drizzle it over the top instead. If you end up ripping your fish, still tastes just as good. It is not a problem. I just like to stuff it because it looks cool. Touch all your sides to your seasoning. Okay. Thank you, Marcus, for the follow. Am I putting it in an oven? Yeah, so I have a video already of me making this and I air fried it. So I'm still going to air fry it, but my oven has an air fry feature. This is my first time using it for this particular project though, but we're still going to put it on air fry in the oven. You are welcome to use an actual air fryer. You are also welcome to bake it in the oven. That's an option too. I just like to air fry it because it gets a nice little crisp on it. But I am air frying it in my oven. Okay, so some seasoning inside, some oil inside, on top, on the sides, and on the skin. Okay, and once you've touched it all with your seasoning and your oil, I just like to pat it in. Make sure we don't lose too much seasoning. Pat it in, just like you would with a steak with some salt. You want to pat in your seasoning. Okay, it looks good. All right, so now the delicate part. Let's get to the filling. Rice is all done. Okay, so I'm gonna need a spoon and move some of this extra stuff out of the way. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you are giving a follow, sending some likes through. I appreciate everybody doing that and watching today. If you're just getting here, we're making an air fried stuffed salmon with rice and broccoli. All right, let's get a spoon. Okay. Thank you, Marcus, for the gifts there. I appreciate that. All right, so again, we are using Philadelphia cream cheese. That's the only way to go when it comes to cream cheese. And Marcus, thank you for sending the gifts. I will follow you back after this live ends. Okay, so we got a fresh cream cheese here. We're gonna put about, does this have measurements like butter? Yeah. So let's say we're gonna put about 3 ounces and see. One thing about me, I don't have a ton of measurements for you guys, but you'll get it. Yeah, that's about 3 ounces, just based off the packaging. And then we put cheese and pesto. Let me get the cheese. Ooh. Where is the cheese? Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is cheddar jack. Oh, very cool. I actually haven't been professionally trained or anything as a chef. I just cook for fun in my spare time. But that's cool that you trained as a chef. Do you still cook? Or did you take a different route? Yeah, I haven't taken any professional cooking classes. Only cooking classes I've gone to is TikTok University and YouTube University. Okay, I'll check out your profile after this. Alright, so I'm making way more filling apparently than I need, but that's okay, because that means, if we want some more later, it'll be pretty fast to cook. We'll already have the stuffing ready. Put that aside. Oh, and the pesto. Put that. And I'll bring it a little closer for y'all once I start mixing it up. There's no great in between based off of where my counter is and where I have to put my ring light. So it's like a little bit far away. That's why I have to lean in to read comments. Yeah, possibly. But I'm about to stuff it right now, so that's why I'm not doing that. Let me see. The salmon was nearly frozen when I took it out because I just got it. So I like to bring it down a little bit before I cook it. That way it can cook evenly, just like steak. Usually people try to bring their steak temperature down before they cook it so that it cooks evenly through. So by the time we do all of this, it should be ready. All right. So what we're going to do is mash this all up, and I will show you the sauce. I guess it's not really a sauce. It's more like a paste for filling. And I've used the same recipe for chicken. If you don't like salmon or you don't like fish. I didn't think I would need a big bowl because, but here we are. Making a little bit of a mess. Not too bad. Okay. I like to make the paste just a little bit thick so that it's not too runny while I'm trying to put it inside of the fish. I like to make it more pasty than runny. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so as it's coming along, I'll bring it a little closer. Hi, cousin. Hello. Okay, we're making some stuffed salmon, so we have our paste here. It's all nice and mashed up. We put mushrooms, shredded cheddar cheese, fresh garlic, pesto sauce, cream cheese, and I will put a pinch of salt, just so it's not like bitter or nothing from the mushrooms. But I did season the fish pretty well, so I'm not super worried about it. I'll put a little, just a bit. Okay, so I put a little salt, just so the mushroom doesn't take over the flavor. All right, there we go. There we go. Again, we like it a little pasty so that it's not too runny outside of the fish. Marcus, you put oil in your paste, or what do you mean? Or on the fish? Because I'm going to put more oil on the fish once we get once we get cooking. Okay, so there we go. That's my ideal texture right there. Perfect. Okay. So let's put her in. Gonna have to touch it again. It's okay. I have more gloves. Let me use the gloves. I don't usually like touching it, especially once it's seasoned. It just makes a mess. In the paste. Oh yeah, I don't usually put oil in my paste because I don't like when it gets too runny. I have, and it makes the cream cheese more runny. So I'm gonna put more oil on the fish though. It'll balance out. And there's already oil on the fish. Okay. So be careful with your fish, right? Because we don't want to break it. We have our pretty little pocket there. And to be careful, we're going to use our spoon, not our knife or butter knife or anything. And we'll just scoop it in there. And we'll press it in there. Let me see if I can do this with y'all looking. You see? Yeah, kind of. Okay, so we're going to press it in there, not too hard, right? Because we don't want to rip through the other side of the fish. Okay. Oh, maybe my stuffing won't be too much. I always prefer to make extra rather than not enough. Okay. There we go. But at this rate, it probably won't be extra. It'll be perfect. So I'll take that too. All right, so I put it in there, try to smooth it over, and then I'm going to cook it on its side when I air fry it. Okay, make sure it's nice and stuffed in that entire pocket. You see? Okay. So we'll place that one in the pan just so it can sit upright right now. And I'm using my cast iron pan, but I'm going to turn the oven on air fry. I usually would make it in my air fryer, but I don't have that air fryer anymore. And some ice cream. I was in the store looking for some ice cream earlier, but I don't know what's up with the supermarkets lately, but it feels like they're short on everything. Like even ice cream, they didn't have too many flavors. I'm like, what are we doing? It was taking me back to when the shutdown, when COVID first started and like the shelves were pretty empty. That was the vibe I was getting. And that's been like the past couple of weeks. I'm in Las Vegas. So in case y'all are wondering, if your stores are different. I'm in Las Vegas and that's what I've noticed the past couple of weeks. Stores are like, running low. And don't even get me started on egg prices. I haven't had eggs in a long time. In a long time because I can't pay freaking $10 for a dozen. I mean, I can, but I don't want to. I'd rather just not have eggs. Oh, I accidentally unplugged the light. Hold on, y'all. Let me get the ring light back. There we go. Oh, you're in New Jersey? What are y'all's egg prices like? Because I'm curious. Because I posted a video that went viral about egg prices here. And people were acting like their state didn't have crazy egg prices. So what's that about? Why do we have crazy egg prices? Hi, Anne. Thank you for joining all the way from Connecticut. It's late on the East Coast. Y'all are up late on a Sunday. Okay, so real quick, we're making stuffed salmon. Here's one piece. Gonna put it in the pan so we can go, and I'm gonna brush it with olive oil. Probably 2 more times before it's done. Use that last scoop. Boom. Smooth it in there. Make sure your pocket is all the way stuffed. Be careful not to push through the other side, right? We don't want to rip our fish. Minnesota. Costco. I tried to go to Sam's today. They didn't have any eggs. They didn't even have a section where the eggs go. They didn't even have that anymore. So I think they gave up. Minnesota looks good, thank you. Arkansas egg prices are around $8 for a dozen. Yeah, that's where we're at. And Karen, thank you for the follow. Yeah, it's like today I was in Walmart. You know, usually Walmart is trying to give you a little deal. Their dozen was $10. So I was like, I guess I'll just be eggless for a while longer, because I don't want to pay that much for a dozen of eggs. I can wait until we figure out the situation. Okay. So again, since we're stuffing it, I am cooking the fish on its side, and I will bring y'all over here in a second. I'm just trying to settle it in. I have cooked this before, but I haven't cooked it in my oven air fryer. Gasoline up. Luckily, gasoline, at least here, has come down. It was better than it was. I mean, I think it was up to like $5 and some change for regular for a while, and now it's like $3.50. So I'll take it. But when it was $5, that was a questionable time in life. $5 a gallon, over $5 a gallon. Like if you could find one at $5.15-ish, you were doing good that day. Oh, Florida. I love Florida. I want to live in Florida. Minus all the hurricanes and stuff. Right. The Easter egg hunt will be plastic eggs. I saw somebody said they was going to paint some rocks instead of eggs. We got to get creative because eggs is too expensive to just be wasting. Thank you, Audrey. I'm going to bring you guys over to the stove here in a second. I'm just trying to organize myself, and I'll bring the light over here. We already finished our rice. Put my scissors back. I haven't opened 5 million things. Okay. No oil. The mixture, isn't she lovely? Thank you for the follow. The mixture is, one second, let me bring this light over here. Okay, the mixture is cream cheese, mushrooms, cheddar cheese, lemon juice, fresh garlic, and a little bit of salt. Yes, the stove is the air fryer. So yeah, that's what I was saying. I've made this before, but I was making it in my actual air fryer. This is my first time making it in my oven air fryer. So I have to adjust differently. It was easier with my smaller air fryer. I just dropped it in the little basket, and it fit nicely, and it held each other up, and we were good. I have to use my cast iron pan to put it in the oven. So in my smaller air fryer, I did do it for 350, 10 minutes, brushed with olive oil, and then another 10 minutes, and it was done. I think I'll do it a little bit higher here, just because the oven is a bigger space. Things tend to cook faster in the smaller air fryer because it's a smaller space. So let's do, I'm gonna do 370. And you really don't have to preheat the air fryer feature, but I just like to get it ready. So let me get my brush. We're gonna brush on some olive oil. And if you guys missed it, you know, the filling and how we got here, don't worry, we are gonna post this video to YouTube. My YouTube name shown here, probably backwards, is the same as my TikTok name, Chefstiny. You can go there, type in my username, and you'll find all my videos. There is a 1-minute version of this video already on my YouTube. If you want to go look at that, if you want to make it sooner, then I'm going to post this video, but this full live will be up on my YouTube within a couple of days. All right. Okay. And again, I just got this new olive oil today, so I have the giant thing here. I did have one of those cute little ones you pour it in, and it's nice, the little drizzler, but I dropped mine and it broke. So that wasn't fun. So for now, we're just going to have the giant olive oil. Yeah, Yvonne, you got to try it. This is a good one. I love making stuffed salmon. And again, if you don't like fish or salmon, I've made this same recipe instead with chicken breast, and it tastes just as good. Marcus, you think the air fryer is cheesy? I personally love my air fryer. I'm not going to lie. I'm one of those people who's going to say, do you have a air fryer? Oh, here's 15 reasons why you should. So I just used the bowl I put the filling in. I didn't want to use another dish, but I'm just brushing on some olive oil. And we already coated it in olive oil, but I want to make sure it's nice and moisturized before it goes in the air fryer. So we'll brush all the exposed meat. Not too worried about the skin because it has oil on it. Probably has the most oil on it already. Okay, so we'll brush all the edges. Just a little dab. You know, olive oil isn't cheap. And then after about 10 minutes, we'll brush it one more time, and then it'll be ready after that. The nice thing about salmon, it doesn't take long to cook. Okay, very good. Let's do this other one. Oh, you know what? I need to put the skin side against the wall so I can brush it. Okay. There we go. All right, paper towel. You hate them? Oh, you love salmon. That's good. I love salmon too. I could eat it every day if I could. You hate. Hate is a strong word. Why do you hate air fryers? I mean, for me, it feels like it works the same as the broil feature, except it's not as hot. You can control the temperature of that, but it gets that nice crisp on it. Or even a roast. Like if your oven has a roast feature, it works very similarly to the air fryer feature. Okay. And it's nice for warming stuff up. Like if you're warming up something like that was fried, and you need to eat it the next day or something, it's going to taste brand new. And it might even taste better than the first time. So that's why I really condone air fryers. But also I appreciate the speed. I'm a person who likes things crispy, kind of well done, and it really does that for me. So you got me on my air fryer soapbox. But to each their own. Let's see. Okay, so we brush the meaty side. And again, I'm using this whole pan. I'm not used to doing that, but I'm setting it up against the side so it doesn't tilt over, hopefully. It should be good. All right, so I'm gonna add a little sprinkle of cheese. Fire burning stove. Oh yeah. Yep, fire burning stoves. Those are a different ball game. My house is all electric, no gas. So that's why I can't have that. But it's a different type of cooking on those kind of stoves. I like it, but it's just different. It's kind of like cooking on a charcoal grill versus a propane grill. Okay. I don't know why I don't know why the fish looks that dark. It's just seasoned. I think it's just the shadow. But I'll bring y'all a little closer before I put it in. Just now, I just sprinkled a little cheese on top of the side where we put the filling. I brushed it with olive oil. Lastly, I'll actually put the lemons after the first cook. So we'll do 10 minutes. I don't want to burn up the lemons because I like to squeeze it at the end onto the food. Timer. Let's do 10. All right. Let me bring it in for y'all before I put it in. Not knock it over. I'll just show you one. Okay. So we have our nicely rubbed salmon. Oop. There we go. Yep, we rubbed it, and there's a lot of color too because I use paprika. Paprika is good for adding color, so we rubbed it with oil and seasonings. We stuffed it with our paste we made. We put a little cheese on top. Now we're gonna air fry it. All right. There's my spoon. In she goes. I like to use the cast iron because it adds a nice crust on whatever you're making. All right, we'll start our timer. Very good. It is stuffed salmon. We just put it in the oven, so you kind of missed it, but I'll give you a quick recap. And if you want to see it through, you have two options. I have a shorter version, about 1 minute, on my YouTube already, or this video, this entire live will be out on my YouTube within a couple of days. So we made stuffed salmon. We cut a nice little pocket into it. We made a paste to put inside. The paste consisted of cream cheese. I moved my light back. Watch out, Bill. Cream cheese, cheddar cheese, mushrooms, fresh garlic, a little bit of salt, a little bit of lemon juice. Turn that back on. Now we'll clean up our mess while we wait. Yeah, usually I'll put spinach inside the paste. Oh, that's really low. But I've learned that like the more watery, vegetables you put inside, the more wet the paste, and then it's just getting all over the place. So instead, I'm just gonna make some. Should I make spinach on the side or broccoli on the side? I think I'll make broccoli, but sometimes I'll just make the spinach on the side instead with some rice. Only because tomorrow I'm already gonna put spinach in my little sandwich wrap, so I'm not trying to overdo it. Today I'll have broccoli. We will clean up during that first round of air frying here, because apparently I've used a million utensils and seasonings. Okay. I think I cleaned that off already, but I'm going to put it back in just in case. We have our lemons. Let me see. I'll put them on a plate. And again, I like to put the lemons on about halfway through so they don't get all burnt up, because I want to use them. My first version of this video is again a short. It's about 1 minute long. But that was one of my first videos I started when I started cooking food on video. Super cool. Every day for broccoli, That's something. I like to switch it up sometimes, but I do buy a large amount of broccoli at a time because it's just convenient, like the Sam's Club size. Yeah, I char my lemon. I cook it for the last 10 minutes. I just don't want to get it too cooked. That's why I like to cook it the last 10 minutes, not the entire time. And I want to give the filling enough time for the heat to get all the way through, and then I'll put the lemon on top of where the filling is. But I love a good charred lemon for sure. As for the Super Bowl, yes, I really wanted it to be the Bengals instead of the Chiefs, but here we are. It was a good game though. They were point for point with each other. And speaking of that, I'm gonna have to figure out some Super Bowl snacks, appetizers, whatever it is, and make some on live on that day. Or maybe before that day. I don't know. Because obviously people would need time to get ingredients if they need or whatever. But we'll figure it out. I was thinking about, since everybody will probably be sharing Super Bowl recipes near that time, I was thinking about doing something a little different that I've tried before and was delicious, which was meatless Super Bowl options. So not vegan, because there are still dairy products involved, but more like vegetarian. Or for people who like meat substitutes as well. So I might do that. I'm not really sure yet. But once a year, I usually try not to eat meat for at least a month or more. And during that time, one time the Super Bowl fell during that time. And I'm like, oh shoot, I need to figure out what to eat. And I ended up making some pretty good stuff. So I might do that to set myself apart from everybody else that's making Super Bowl snacks around that time. We'll see. Because not everybody eats meat, you know, and they want to enjoy the Super Bowl too. And maybe you do eat meat like me, but sometimes you just want a little break from it. I need some water. But yeah, so I might do that. But either way, whether it's meatless or not meatless, I will go live and put together some Super Bowl snacks. Going with the Chiefs, I don't know. The Eagles have been running through people. Yeah, 2 black quarterbacks, so it's a win-win. But the Eagles just be looking strong. Like, they be running through those other players. So I think they might run all over the Chiefs too. Oh, I was thirsty. All right, we got about 3 minutes left. We'll take a peek, see how things are going. Oh, okay, she looks all right. Again, I've made it before, just not in the oven air fryer. No meat tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not particularly doing no meat next month. Probably in March, just because I just got some groceries today and I need sandwiches for work. So maybe in March. But usually, like once a year, I try to do no meat for at least a month. I think the longest I've gone was like close to 50 days, and then I was kind of over it. But it's really nice to change it up, because sometimes eating meat every day just feels heavy. Yeah, I'm going with the Eagles. All right, that's a bet. Oh, we have our troll of the day. What's the name here? I can't even see it. I bet you won't. Ironic. But we have our first troll of the day, y'all. Taylor are making stuffed salmon. It's in the oven right now, so we're just cleaning up. It's air frying in the oven. So while it cooks, we clean. Thank you, Luna, for the follow. That way we don't have to clean after, because it's getting kind of late. It's 8 o'clock on the West Coast. Gotta wake up early for work, so clean now. But yes, we have some stuffed salmon, and if you've been watching me for a while, you've probably seen it before a long time ago. It's been a couple of years since I made that first video about it, but that's what we're making today, a new and improved version in our little oven air fryer. I know, thank you, Taylor, for the likes. I know I hate cleaning up after too, but it's gotta get done. Actually, you can throw this in the dishwasher. I don't think it's. Yep. Dishwasher. What do y'all usually eat for the Super Bowl? It's like typically a pizza, wings, hot links kind of day. Or like dips. People love a good dip for Super Bowl. I usually make wings, pizza. Not really buy it, because if you try and buy wings or pizza on the Super Bowl day, you need to order days in advance if you want it in a timely fashion. Because everybody's buying pizza and wings. So you're better off making it. I need to check out your page, see your cooking. I'll look at it as I'm laying down later when I'm following you back. Okay, 9, 10. Okay, let's look at it. I'm gonna let y'all look at it. Hold on. Again, this is the 10-minute mark. I am gonna do it for another 10. Oh yeah. Well, that looks good. It's coming right along. I'm gonna have to take the phone off the stand though. So hold on. Marcus, do you do live? Do you cook on live? Okay. All right. I hope y'all can see that, but we're about halfway. So again, I'm going to cook it again. Let's see. The stuffing's coming along. Now we're going to add the lemon on top and finish it off. I will say, since the oven is a bigger space, again, it's not cooking as like fast or crisp as when I put it in the small air fryer, but that's okay. Salmon cooks very fast, so it's actually mostly done. So I'm going to turn up the temperature and crisp it here. Especially since we cut it so thin to make that pocket. It's mostly done. So we'll drop the lemon on top. Close it up. And it did cook off a lot of that oil. I might actually use that same oil. I'm just not going to add more. There's like a little oil already in the pan. So I'll use my brush to get that. And we're just going to brush it right onto the salmon's meat. Sometimes if it cooks up or if it drips, like if you put it in an actual air fryer where it's allowed to drip and you lose that oil, you can't really do it. But since I'm doing it in a pan, it's all here for me. Hold on. Okay. we'll just brush up. Dab it on there. Let's do this one, and we'll start her back up. Okay. So that was 10 minutes. We'll do another 10. And it really depends on how you like the cook of your salmon. Again, I'm a person who likes to get a nice crisp, so I'm going to do a little extra. But salmon cooks very quickly. Traditionally, you probably don't need to cook thin sliced salmon for very long. Timer. Another 10, and we'll check on it in between time. Excuse me. Yeah, fish cooks really fast. You do cook on live? Okay. I'm going to check you out. Oh, I can follow you right now. See, I don't know that much about live yet. I'm still learning. I'm following you now, but I'll look at your videos when I'm done. Thank you. It's actually pretty small. I want to pop it out and put a different one in, but still a double sink, you know. Let me go grab some broccoli out of the deep freezer real quick. The nice thing is that it's in the steamable bags, so it only takes a second to cook. I'll be right back, but y'all can still hear me. The last sink I had was like a farm sink, so it's still a big sink, but just one, I guess, hole. That wasn't as fun. Broccoli. We never brought it back upstairs. It's deep in there. Hold on. Okay. One more. Yeah. I'm throwing it in the trash. Okay, y'all, I'm coming. I'm gonna run up these million stairs. Okay, turns out we're on our last bag of broccoli. Okay. And there, just squeeze the juice. So I squeezed some of the juice into the paste that we put inside, but I actually did take 2 lemon slices and put them right on top of the salmon. So you'll see it when it comes out. I'll show you. Whew, I'm out of breath. Just ran to the garage, upstairs, back. Need to hit the gym. Okay, and we just made plain rice. Plain rice on the side. I'm gonna steam up this broccoli. I'm doing it the cheat way. But it is fresh broccoli florets, blah, blah, blah. They're just frozen and ready to steam. There's a difference. Like if you buy the cheaper broccoli, they usually taste different. But when you get the fresh florets that are frozen, it tastes better. I don't have a husband, but I do have a boyfriend, and he likes my cooking. He also cooks, so it's nice that we can both do that. Let's see. I just cook it until it seems right, but let's see what it says. Okay. 4 minutes. Don't open it. All right, that's all I need to know. 4. Oh, yeah, the timer's going. We'll stop the timer. 6 minutes left. So after this finishes, 2 minutes left. TDM Clove, thank you for the follow. And thank you all for the likes. We're at 1.5K. I appreciate it. We had some gifts earlier. I appreciate that. If you were with me yesterday, we made some lasagna. It was very good. That video will also be up on my YouTube in a couple of days, along with this one. Today we're making stuffed salmon. So the side, nope, it specifically says do not puncture. But I have done it that way, and it still cooks just fine. Oh, did you make that today or yesterday? Usually I make turkey, like ground turkey lasagna, but yesterday I made it with ground beef mixed with Italian pork, and it was good. I've made meatballs like that before with different meats. I made turkey, beef, and pork rolled up into one meatball. That was good, so I figured I'd try it yesterday with the lasagna, and it was really good. But typically I would use ground turkey. I've never made chicken lasagna though. That's something I'm gonna need to try. Something is wet right here. Oh, I spilled water. Oh, see, there's my ADHD. I was supposed to be finishing putting this stuff in the oven. Oh, but the timer went off. That's what happened. Anyways, let's put these in the dishwasher. Chicken lasagna is good though. What do you usually put in your chicken lasagna? I've never done it that way. Like, is it the traditional ingredients, or do you do it a little differently because it's chicken? Like, I've seen chicken lasagnas and they've used white sauces. So I'm curious. Chicken parmesan. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's what I was talking about yesterday. Everything we make with like pasta, cheese, and tomato sauce is all the same meal pretty much. Just different meat, different shape pasta. Like, lasagna is just a different shape of spaghetti. Stuffed shells, all that stuff is pretty much the same meal. But with chicken, that'll be different. It makes sense that it tastes like chicken parmesan. Oh. Tomato sauce, no pesto. Yeah, yesterday I just used tomato sauce. Let me check on this. Yep, let me push it back some. I've learned to make sure you put your pans all the way, like either in the center of the oven or push them back so that the heat can travel equally. What was I saying? Yesterday I used just tomato sauce, cheese, basic stuff, but it was really good. All right. Should I start this? No, it's not full. Save water. Okay. Our broccoli is done. So it says. I think it's a little longer. It said 4 minutes, but it's like some parts of it are hot, some parts of it are not. Let's do 2 more minutes. That way it'll be ready when the salmon's ready. We're almost done, y'all. We're almost to the final product. Oh, I see. So you cook for everybody, like your family or your friends? Who are you cooking for now? me put the paper towel in different places. When I lived in Colorado near my family and friends, I cooked for them. But I'm in Nevada and I don't have a ton of people here, so I mainly just cook for my house. Salmon does have this generation in a chokehold. I do love salmon, but only the fresh kind. I'd rather not eat salmon than to eat like frozen salmon. It tastes completely different. So the fresh kind costs way more, but it's worth it. Oh, okay. See, that's almost easier. You don't have to worry about nobody eating your leftovers. You don't have to worry about buying too much food. It's just you. What is this? I don't know what the heck was in the garbage disposal. Nope, I am not. I'm struggling to see these tiny little words and names on the screen. Pooh Bear, thank you for the follow. She can cook, she just don't like to cook. All right, y'all. Our fish should be ready. Okay, adios. Thanks for coming. All right. Yep, that'll do. See, this is the difference between. Let me do something. I'm going to do something a little extra. And I'll show you why in a second. So like I said, when you cook in your little machine air fryer, it's a smaller space. So the heat is more condensed. It cooks faster and more like crispy, I guess, than in the oven. I think I'm gonna do a quick broil so I can get a char on the top. That's what I was worried about with the oven air fryer. If you're ever using broil, be very, very careful. It goes from 0 to 100 real quick. You can definitely burn your stuff. But in the small air fryer, all the heat's condensed. It's going to char a lot faster on the top because that's usually where the heat source is. But in the oven, it's such a bigger space. The heat's very spread out. So it doesn't cook as crispy, I guess, as fast. So right now, I'm just going to broil it real quick so we can get that char on the top and it'll be done. But be very careful with broil. Yeah, you got to be careful with broil. I've had broil go wrong. And there is the option of low broil and high broil, but I need high so I can get the char I'm looking for. So typically, I'll turn on the light when I find the button, and I'll honestly watch it. I won't watch it now because then y'all will think I'm weird. But I've had broil go wrong because you'll forget about it for a split second and you'll burn something. So if you choose to broil, be very careful. Hi, Pooh Bear. Sorry I didn't see that earlier. And thank you all for sticking around. If you've been here since the beginning of this live, I appreciate it. I know it's kind of a long one, but half of it is because I'm trying to film and talk and everything. But if you make this yourself, in reality, it really doesn't take too long to make stuffed salmon. It's actually pretty fast. I'm watching you. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, I've made this meal before. I just haven't made it in an oven air fryer in a larger space. And I really do feel like Even though the oven has an air fryer on it, I like to still have the small one because things just cook differently. So for example, with the salmon, it doesn't crisp as fast on the top. And with steak, if you've ever air fried a steak, it doesn't cook as fast when you air fry it in the oven as you do when you air fry it in a smaller air fryer. So even though the oven has that feature, I feel like I still need both. Okay, I can hear it. I don't want to risk anymore. I'm taking it out. Perfect. And I am a person who likes things a little extra crispy. So if that's not your style, you are welcome to cook it for less time. There we go. You are welcome to cook it for less time. This is just how I like it because I need that little char. Okay, let me think. I think I'll bring you guys over here. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had it that long, so I guess that's the case, but it really is a case of condensed heat versus dispersed heat. Like, in a small, what was mine, like a 4 or 6 quart air fryer, the heat has nowhere else to go. So naturally, the food's going to cook differently. In an oven, there's a lot more places for the heat to go, so it doesn't cook the same. That's why I can't cook on the same temperatures as I do in a small one either. I might have to take it off. Let me get this glove just in case so I don't burn myself. Okay. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. You can see here, we got a nice golden steak. Here, I can probably flip it. That's probably easier. Let's see. It took me forever to figure out how to flip the camera on live. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we can even zoom. See, I'm kind of new to this right now. So you see that we have a perfect, burned myself. A perfect golden little steak here. I can't read that right now, sorry. Let me try and use a utensil. Let's try a fork. Okay. All right, so I need like a third hand. So you can see our nice golden color. Here's where our filling is. You can see it kind of bubbling through on the sides. The lemon didn't char as much as usual because of my first time air frying in the oven. But typically when I air fry it in the small air fryer, it's a little more charred. And that's okay. Still delicious. Here's the other one. Thank you. Thank you. It is good. I've made this a couple of times with actually different fillings. This is just the pesto filling, but I've made it with a couple different fillings. So just like with everything, we gotta unscrape it from the side while it's still hot. That way it's easy to remove. There we go. And we will plate it. Yeah, I'll leave it on here for a second. I know we've had some people coming in and out, so I'll give them a chance to see. Just when I said I was getting the gloves to not burn myself, I was still burning myself. Detach the skin. That's why I like to put the skin side against the side of the pan because it's not as important. If the meat was facing that, the meat's more delicate, so you could break the seal, I should say. Yeah, I'm letting it rest. I always detach stuff from the pan while it's hot. That way it's easy to remove when it cools down. See, now I can move it. But I always detach when it's hot. I will not be moving it just yet, otherwise it'll break the seal, so to speak, and then spill all the filling out. We will have the filling. Thank you, Michael, for the follow. We will have the filling, spilling out onto the plate once we put it on the plate, but we don't want it to do it earlier. I really want to move them together. Let's see. Should I be risky? I'm too scared. Nope, I'm too scared. Okay. So let it cool down first. Nemo, thank you for the follow. And we're just going to chill here while it cools down so I can give people a chance to see what we made. I'm not ready to remove it yet. I'm going to let it cool down some more. And probably for like 2 minutes, but I've already removed it from the pan, so I'll just have to pick it up. Yeah, I'm going to put it on a plate. Right now, I'm going to let it settle for just a second since I just took it out from broil, so it's very hot. I don't want it to spill before I get it on a plate. You can see some of the filling peeking through here, but also a nice crust on it. Yeah, see, even this is starting to slide a little bit because I was jiggling it, so I'm not ready to move it yet. I don't mind a little settle moment. Gives everybody a chance to look at it, and it looks good. Yeah, I will. Don't you worry. What am I cooking? I made stuffed salmon. So this is a little salmon fillet. Oops, see, that one's sliding. I'll do that one second. That one did have more stuffing in it, to be fair, but I'm glad that we can at least see the inside now. There you go, nice and bubbly. We made stuffed salmon. Okay, so I'm going to put y'all back on the ring stand so I can take this out. Thank you, Audrey. Okay, yep, did all that not to burn myself, still burn myself. Typical. Okay. Let's get this. I'm not going to choose that one because that one's already moving and grooving. This one's a little more solid. It had less filling in it. I think I might still need the glove. Most likely the pan is still hot. Because that cast iron holds heat. I mean, I think it came out the same as when I put it in the small air fryer. Because again, the feature on the oven is air fry. But it just took a little longer to cook. That's what I'll say. But I think in terms of how it cooked, it came out the exact same as when I put it in a smaller air fryer. I'm scared. I really don't want it to break, especially since I broke my lasagna yesterday. I need redemption. But if it's going to break anyway when I put it on the plate, so it's not that deep. It's all going down the same way. Whew. We did it, y'all. We did it. Oops. All right, I'm going to put everything on the plate and then I'll show you. Usually I put my rice into its cute little shaper and all that good stuff for you, but not today. Oh no, I'm still gonna use my oven. If I get another air fryer, it would just be like a small, cheap one for little things because everything else, it cooks the same. Like even with the steak, I've tried air frying steak and it's really good. When I air fried it in a small air fryer, it took about 9 minutes to get medium well. When I air fried it in the oven, it took a little longer than that, and the grease kind of pops everywhere. So that's the other thing I don't like about it. In an air fryer, it's contained. So I definitely won't buy an expensive air fryer, but I might get a little cheap one to have on the side. Okay. Redemption. Yeah, because my yesterday when I took out the lasagna, I almost lost her there. Let's see if I can. Oh, mm, zoom in. I did not know that I could zoom in. Thank you, John, for the follow. Okay, what's the smart way to do this? Let me bring the plate to the light, not the light to the plate. Put this here, and let me grab some broccoli. My millionth utensil. This is why dishes add up. You think it tastes different? I really haven't noticed that. And like I said, I'm a big fan of my air fryer. So I really was trying to find the differences between the two. But I really do feel like it tastes the same to me. So that's why I haven't been in a super rush to even get a new one. Because the oven gets the job done. I just have to be a little more patient. Okay. With some broccoli. Like I said, today I just did rice and broccoli. It's also good with mashed potatoes if you have, or roasted potatoes. That's a good side for it as well. Oops. We lost it here. The ring light fell over. I'm going to bring the plate to the camera anyway, so let me just set it all the way up. There we go. Okay. That was a struggle. There we go. All right, so that bottom part is the skin. Again, not everybody cooks with the skin, but I like to. You're welcome to do the same exact thing without the skin. I am going to break it so you guys can see the inside, but I'll show you the full unbroken version first. Back this up. Okay, here's the quick view of the plate. Fair. That makes sense. There's a little zoom. We got our nice crust on the outside. We got a nice wholesome dinner here. And again, I like to leave it up for a little while for the people who have been jumping in and out and want to see before I break it, but I will break it. Thank you, Yvonne. And if you want to make this at home, it's really easy, and I'm going to post the video up shortly. Well, not shortly, maybe in like 2 to 3 days. But it'll just be a couple days before this full video is up. If you need the fast version, I do have a video already on my YouTube. It's the 1 minute version. If you need the long version, you gotta wait a few days. And if you just got here, we have some stuffed salmon. Okay, I'm gonna break it now. All right, so we'll move the lemon over. You can see the cheese. See if I can get a nice scoop out of it. Oh, we got a little tiny cheese bowl. Okay. Let me see if I can get it clear. So again, that filling was cheddar cheese, cream cheese, mushrooms, fresh garlic, a little bit of salt, and lemon juice. Okay. Move that over. Right here we have a nice part of the crust of the cheese. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Let's see. Try and put it close to my ear pod. Okay, so we got a nice little crust on the outside. And then here's the outside of the fish. We cut that pocket so it's kind of hard to flip it over. But you can see the outside of the fish has a nice crust on it. The fish is still juicy. I'm making a mess of this so you guys can see. The fish is still nice and juicy. You can see that shine on there, that flaky meat. See that? Juicy, juicy, juicy. But also a nice crust from the seasoning. Okay. Oh, that side you can see. Can you see that? Thank you, thank you. One thing you don't want to do is dry out your salmon. I mean, it's still salmon, it's still good, but you want to make sure your meat is nice and moist. And the filling, you want to make sure you get that crust on the outside, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm a texture person. So I like to get a crunch on the outside, and a soft inside is okay. But I need that crunch. We got our little cheese pulls coming through. And the amount that you put of everything is really up to your discretion. Like if you don't like lemon juice, you don't have to put that. If you want to just squeeze it over at the end, that's cool too. Or if you don't like mushrooms, even though my dad said he didn't like mushrooms, and then I just gave him this without him knowing there was mushrooms, and he liked it. So maybe just give it a try first. I love that this is a test one where you know you have to get a good pick. I know, and the other one is kind of sliding, but it's all good. I already have this video up, so I wasn't too worried about it. Now that I've destroyed this one, I wasn't too worried about it because I do have a video already, and I have pictures already from when I made it the first time. I needed y'all to know what was going on inside of here. But this is kind of the longer version. The first one was a 1-minute video, so people might want that. And again, that is skin on the bottom. It is not burnt or anything. The skin is definitely something I need to get crispy. Otherwise, I won't eat it. And I don't always eat it anyway. Usually, I'll just pull the meat off of it. But when you cook with the salmon skin, it really keeps the fish moist. That's what I think. Because the skin itself has a lot of oil and fat attached to it. So that's what helps keep the meat moisturized. Yeah, that and the mushrooms. All right, guys. Well, that is it. Here we have the final product. It's all picked over, but I was just trying to show y'all the inside. We made some stuffed salmon, some rice, some broccoli. I appreciate you all for watching. Make sure that you, here, I guess I'll just hold it and talk. Make sure that you follow me on here so you can catch any future lives where we're cooking some good stuff. You can also follow me on YouTube or subscribe to my channel. Thank you for 3,000 likes. You can subscribe to my channel, Chefstiny. It's probably backwards for you, but that's my name on YouTube. Type it in the search bar, you'll find all my videos. I have a playlist on there where you can see any of my previous lives. I put all of my live videos into that playlist so you can see them all. And then I have also shorter videos that are complete, recipes and everything. Thank you, Dorian, for the follow. So make sure you check me out, follow me on here, subscribe to me on there, and we'll do some cooking in our meantime. I've been off here for about a month because I was really busy with school and work. So I don't have a set schedule of when I get on here, but if you follow me, you'll know when I'm on. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Once again, this full live and the full live from yesterday when we made lasagna will be up within a couple of days, okay? So one last look-see at our stuffed salmon that's now all picked through. Give you a last chance to hit the follow while you're here. And if not, hopefully the For You page brings you back again. But I appreciate you all. Thank you, Marcus, for the gifts once again. Thanks for the conversation. Thank you for watching. Anybody else who's been here since the beginning or just stopped in real quick, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time.